Hey, it is a beautiful summer morning here in Central Florida, and I am doing some punching. One of my favorite ways to bass fish, for sure. You know, you hear about this a lot, the punching technique to catch big bass. It's good all over the country. There's punching opportunities from Lake Champlain to Florida to California. Anywhere that you've got real thick overhead cover, punching really comes into play. The setup is really simple. You want a compact Croix style bait like this one. Here's some additional ones I use a lot. Some have more action, more flappers and things than other. It's kind of a day-by-day deal, but you can see they're all fairly compact Croix style baits, and you rig them with a big straight shanked hook. Okay, see, when it comes to punching, you need to make sure that this thing goes in and out of the cover really, really easy. We're using a big tungsten weight with a bobber stop to hold it up against the bait, and it slides in and out. For that reason, use a straight shanked hook all the time when you're punching. Okay, this one here, this is a VMC hook. It does a fantastic job. You can see I've got it tied on with a snell knot, which really connects me to the fish better. But the big point is you want a straight shank hook, not something with an offset, because you got to keep this thing super streamlined and super straight to go in and out of the grass. From there, most of the technique involves just getting the bait in and out. You know, a lot of times when you're punching, you're not efficient, and that is the downfall of this technique. You have to be able to get your bait in and out of the cover easily. For that reason, you need a big long rod. Okay, so this rod here, this is a St. Croix Victory rod. This was made, designed specifically for this technique for punching, and it's just a hair short of 8 feet in length. Okay, so that gets me as close and as vertical as I can from the boat. I get right up in the cover, and you want to fish real vertical, up and down. You don't want to sling your bait real far away, because you want the bait to be able to go in and out of the hole real easily without getting snagged. So get real vertical and stay real close. The other thing about punching is when you flip your bait in, rarely do I let it go all the way to the bottom. Okay, most times when I pitch a bait out there and I'm in a big heavy mat, I let it go down maybe a foot or two, and then I fish right under the mat. If you've ever seen bass relating to overhead cover, floating boat docks, matted vegetation, whatever, they don't sit on the bottom. They sit right underneath the cover in the coolest shaded areas to ambush. So that's where most of your strikes are. When you pitch it in, let it go down a little bit and then work it right under the cover. A couple hops, then we lift it and pitch it into the next spot. Okay, so punching is pretty easy in that regard. One thing I have to say though, if you're gonna come out and try this technique, is you need to get used to when you get a bite, you don't slam the hook home, okay? After you pitch in, if you get a bite, you want to just lean back on the fish. Allow the rod to flex and muscle them out. Okay, this is a heavy power rod, meaning it's very heavy in its ability to pull fish out of cover, but it's got a little bit more moderate flex to it, a little bit more moderate action, which allows me to swing and cast the bait easier, but it also allows it to really load up and flex when I set the hook. Okay, so stick to a big long rod, a straight shanked hook, compact, easy baits, and fish right below the mat. And you'll see, if you put an hour or two in a punching every day, you're gonna feel the little differences and the little subtleties of the technique, and you're gonna see it has its own skill set like anything else. But boy, what a great way to catch a monster bass.